Trinity Sports Medicine, the Orthopedic Institute, and P3 Performance offers you the best fully integrated and patient-centered approach to health and wellness in the tri-state area. Our team will coordinate and customize your care using the latest accelerated recovery treatment options available, dedicated to help any athlete at any level to protect, progress, and perform. Unleash your potential at Trinity Sports Medicine and P3 Performance.
He's so demanding, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. Welcome to week eight of the high school football season, week 7 of the Star Sportscast. Matthew Peasy, Mike Matheson. He's decked out in his San Francisco Giants orange.
Yes.
He figures since they beat the Pirates, he's going to root for them for the rest of the postseason because there's not a bone in his body who can root for the Cardinals, can you?
I don't like either of them, but this is the lesser of two evils, I guess. I'm surprised I even have this.
You want the Royals.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That could be Baltimore orange too.
Yeah, I'll just cover it up.
Baltimore Orioles orange.
Yeah, but Royals. Go Royals. This is good to see.
Yeah, Royals. Not quite the same Royals, but same thing. All right, crunch time, playoff time.
We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Home stretch.
So to speak. Down the stretch they come.
Just like NASCAR on the radio.
Just like NASCAR on the radio. And they turn left into turn 4. Let's go to Joe Smith.
You always listen to NASCAR on the radio.
First time I'd ever heard in my life when I moved out here in 2001. It was the strangest thing.
While eating your taco kits.
While eating my taco, exactly. While sweeping the sweeper on my rugs and wearing a toboggan. Oh, that was culture shock for me. Honest to goodness,
that's
culture
hilarious.
Shock when I moved out here.
That's good.
Never mind the fact that it was like -3 degrees and a wind chill of -400. It was fun out here. All right, Friday night. Something that last happened in 1981. Steubenville Big Red lost back-to-back home games.
Wow.
1981. Wow.
That's 8 years before I was born.
It was pre-Sack, too. It was pre-Coach Sack.
Wow.
Anyway, they're 4-3. They take on, Obama Prep from...
Obama University, whatever you want to
call it, from Pittsburgh. They're 5-1. They just took their first loss. Steubenville Bear Goods 4-3. They are still 6th in Division 4, Region 13, so they're still there. And obviously a win this week will get them some nice points. I mean, they played well last week, but my goodness, those twin brothers from Huntington, from St. Joseph's.
Yeah. The past 3 weeks,
they just played athletes.
They've ran into Ohio State quarterback from Massillon, another Ohio State quarterback from Athens,
and Trey Williams from Athens going to OU.
Yeah, so
and these two kids who I found out sophomores.
They're
sophomores.
Jeez. Horn brothers, right?
Talented kids, and so Big Red. I mean, they played good football. I know they're pretty healthy. I think everyone's back to being healthy. They just pick up a win, get a lot of secondary points. Then they get parked next week. But this schedule, everyone whined about Big Red having 9 home games. They're not playing any patsies.
Right.
These are some good football teams.
Even this team from Pittsburgh, they were city champs in Pittsburgh last year, which, I mean, there's some good, talented athletes in the Pittsburgh area, and they've only had 1 loss this year. They had 1 loss last year, so... And they're coming in here. They're coming in here looking for a win, just like the past 3 teams.
Well, yeah, they're coming in here knowing that Big Red's lost 3 in a row. Is what they're coming in here knowing, and they can try to make it 4 in a row.
Yeah, so it's not going to be easy for Big Red, but they need to get back on track, and this would be the week to do it.
Yeah, it'd be the week to do it. Oh, what else we got? Oh, the over on West Virginia, we're high 6-1, number 9 in Class AA. They get 3-4 Ritchie County. We're High's coming off a huge win over Magnolia last week, down 21-17 with 5 minutes to go. Will Larch leads the game-winning drive, and then the defense held Magnolia. Cam Davis did not suit up last week,
right.
and that's a big win anyway. But when you have that big win without Cam Davis, that shows you how far this team has come.
Shows a lot of everybody else on the team. Will Larch has just been outstanding this year and improving each week, and Hartman has picked up the slack where Davis was out last week. Had a good game running the ball, and Ritchie County's coming in here losing 3 straight, so it's going to be a bounce-back game for them, but Weir's just going to have to show that they are the real deal.
Yes.
And this is the week to do it at home. It'll be a big win for them.
Because Weir's had back-to-back wins and gone from tied for 9th in the state to 10th in the state, now 9th in the state.
Yeah, so they haven't been moving up too much.
They're getting some secondary points, but not a lot.
I'll have to win this one.
The game I will be at, because you get the desk this week. Lucky
Sweet.
you.
Yep.
Is 7-0 St. Clairsville, which is number 1, Division 5, Region 17. They're 7-0. They go to 2-5. Edison local. Edison's had their problems this year. They still have stud in Ethan Shannon.
Yeah, they rushed for over.
Really good player in Carter Andriozzi.
Yep.
Colin Skeels did a nice job, but they just St. Clairsville's just good.
Yeah, Edison's played really tough games. I mean, they get a win 2 weeks ago. Harrison Central comes in. They hung with Harrison Central a little bit. They did some good things on defense. I mean, they gave up almost 350 yards of offense, but that's easy to do when you got the athletes that Harrison Central has. But they intercepted 2 passes, created a turnover with a fumble.
But didn't that return for a kickoff just kill them?
Yeah, right in the first play of the second half, they kick off second half, and I think it was Brandon Mitchell runs 85 yards for a touchdown, which took the sails out of them at halftime because they go into halftime. Colin Skills makes an interception, a little bit of momentum.
Right.
Fans are on their feet cheering them as they go to the locker room. They come back out, and
boom,
that happens. Yeah. And there was another Travis Stenson of Harrison Central had a punt return for a kickoff that got called back because of penalties. So,
okay.
Yeah, Harrison Central's a talented team. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but Edison played well with Ethan Shannon going for over 100 yards, and I told you when I came back from the game that Nick Glen impressed me too. He's a tough, fast runner.
Yep.
And who's going to do some good things next year, and he can still finish out the year on the strong note. But he's fast, he's quick, and only had 4 or 5 carries but rushed for over 50 yards, which is
nice average. 2-5 Oakland got their second win of the season. They go to 3-3 JM, who's reeling. They lost a 1-point heartbreaker to Parkersburg South, winning a field goal with a late field goal, hit one of the uprights.
No.
Otherwise they beat Park South. So Oakland needs a large dose of Chance Staley, a large dose of Micah Swiger, and you never know. JM's off a tough loss, and they're still 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. How are they going to bounce back?
Right. And Oakland has got to be more confident this week than they have been for most of the weeks this year, coming off a win, 14-2 against East Liverpool, big rival for them. Dakota Price was the hero in that game. I think he rushed for over 100 yards. So Oakland's always had the athletes to get this done, and it'll be tough going on the road, but it's one they can win.
I agree with you because JM's going to run the ball. Big game in Ferry. This one's huge. 6-1 Indian Creek at 6-1 Martins Ferry. Indian Creek is number 9 in Division 4, Region 13. Ferry is number 9 in Division 5, Region 17. Both are on the outside looking in right now in the playoffs. Obviously, both have 3 weeks left. Huge with a win and secondary points for whoever gets this win.
Whoever wins this will probably make the playoffs. I mean, depends on what they do for the next 2 weeks, but this is huge for both. They're both 6-1.
Both lost to St. Clairsville in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, so it's going to be a big test for Creek's defense. I mean, they've played outstanding all of the year.
Yes, they have.
Ferry's offense with R.J. Burris is going to be tough to stop. So this is Creek's big test to see if they deserve a playoff spot.
And unlike last week when they stuffed UL, because they stuffed UL big time, UL is not the world's best passing team, and Ferry can pass the ball. They're very efficient at it. They know how to do it. They would rather run the ball, but last year Ferry beat them last year on a pass play, on a heartbreaker on a pass play. So, Coach Conn and the staff knows that Ferry will and can throw the ball, but they still like to run the ball.
Yeah. And on offense for Creek, Jabari Taylor's kind of coming into his own. They've had the 2-quarterback system with him and Greg Wade, but I think they're both finally grasping the offense fairly well as they get down to the home stretch of the season here, and it'll be interesting to see what they can do in a big game like this too.
Yeah, Creek's defense has been tested, and they've had, obviously St. Clairsville being the biggest test. They passed a huge test last week against UL because UL came in playing really good football, but this is a big test week for Creek's defense. Sure. Yeah, big. You talked about Harrison Central. They are 4-3. Independence goes to 4-3. Harrison Central. Independence is number 11 in Division 5, Region 15. Harrison Central is number 5 in Division 5, Region 15. So a huge regional game, even though they're not very close to each other. They're probably a couple hours apart. But it's just, you watched Harrison last week. They have some athletes that can play.
Yeah, and what they did last week, I mean, they ran the ball heavily with Travis Stenson in the first half. He had 175 yards at halftime, and then they were able to throw the ball fairly well after that too. Edison loaded up the box trying to stop the run, and they have the athletes at wide receiver, the Mitchell brothers, and Zach Arbogast can throw the ball efficiently, and that's what they did. If they're going to beat you on the ground, obviously, but they can also do some special things throwing the ball, and that's what they did to get that win at Edison, even though Zach Arbogast only threw the ball once in the second half, and they only ran 16 or 17 plays in the second half just because they had big play after big play, punt return, and their offense is efficient, and they'll have to fire away this week too.
Air Kropka.
Air Kropka, yeah. That's his new nickname now?
Air Kropka. Yeah. Air Kropka. Let's see. 5-2 Toronto goes to Conotton Valley in a game that was originally scheduled for Saturday afternoon. Is now Friday night, 7:30 under temporary lights. Toronto's 5-2 took care of business last week against Bellsville, led 41-0 at half. The second half took apparently 27 minutes to play. Yeah. They're going into a winless Conotton Valley team, and they're not going to get any points out of it. But they need to make sure they take care of business early. Play a lot of the younger kids and get out healthy and get ready for next week against Payton City.
Like they're in the playoffs right now.
Absolutely. They're number 8.
Number 8 in the region.
Division 7, Region 23. Yes. Yep, number 8.
And just what they've done for the past couple weeks, they've beat up on teams that they're supposed to beat up on.
Yeah, and they've done their job. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what they have to do this week, too. The story stays the same. And it's impressive that they've been able to still do this and not miss a beat. I mean, Blaze Glen was out since week 1. But
Blaine Rawson does a wonderful job.
Really
he's done a wonderful job at quarterback, and they've just done a nice job adapting. And the defense is playing really well. They got
to pull out the rest in 3 more weeks, and if they can win these 3 games, they'll be in the playoffs.
Absolutely, they will. There's no doubt about that. The 2-4 Brooke Bruins, who are coming off their bye week, they go to 4-2 Park South, coming off that squeaker of a win at JM. Right. Park South is number 11 in Class AAA. Obviously, Brooks coming off its bye. They went down to Logan the week before, beat him 41-20. I think McElwain's asleep. And and this is a Brooke team that can win this game. There's no two ways about that.
Mm-hmm. And it's still a tough road game for them.
I agree. Tough road game.
They were able to go down to Logan 3 hours away. Parkersburg South isn't that far away, but they can then coming off of a bye week, they probably worked on some things that can guarantee this win.
The coaching staff was at JM last week scouting Park South.
Yeah.
And this is a big game for Brooke. Big game for Brooke.
Yep, and it'd be nice to see them pull out this win because for both teams it's a big game.
It is a big game. I mean, obviously Park South's coming off a squeaker, and they know that if they want to continue their playoff hopes, then or even maybe host a game, they have to win this one. And if Brooke comes in and takes care of them, and they go down to 4-3, they'll drop further, and who knows? Weirton Madonna at 2-4 goes down to Clarksburg Notre Dame, who's 4-2. Clarksburg Notre Dame is in a 3-way tie for 6 in Class Single A. Madonna is on the wrong end looking up. They got shut out last week at Bishop Donahue. The one thing about Notre Dame is this is a big game for them because, obviously top 8 in the state, you host a playoff game. Top 4 in the state, you host 2 playoff games. Yeah. So this is a big game for both teams, but really big game for Notre Dame playing at home and with the chance to, go to 5-2 and sneak in, try to sneak up to the number 4 spot eventually.
It's weird for Notre Dame probably who knows if they get to see Madonna too often, and this is a different Madonna team than they've seen or heard of in the past 2 years. They beat Bishop Donahue, Notre Dame did, by 1 point.
Right.
And then in the first week of the season, they got blown out by Wheeling Central.
In the second half, Wheeling Central scored like 30-something straight points. Yeah, so
that's just kind of how you can compare the two. But
well, now you look at it, Clarksburg Notre Dame is 4-2, tied for 6, and Wheeling Central is 3-4 and in 20th.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny how the season plays out like that. It's a big game for both teams. Tough road trip for Madonna to go down there. But it's we've said all this season that Madonna needs to prove who they are, find their identity, and this is another game to do it. And it could be a real bonding experience for them to go down there and come back with a win.
Yep, and just shut everyone up. Big game in East Liverpool. 0-7 Buckeye go to 0-7 East Liverpool. Someone's got to come out a winner, right?
Yeah. I mean, last week was a tough game for East Liverpool against a rival in Oakland who's down, and Buckeye's down, obviously.
But Buckeye was leading Beaver Local 8-0, and then Beaver Local took the kickoff back after the Buckeye Local touchdown for a touchdown, and then it was all Beaver Local.
Yeah, so Buckeye's been just the season they've had with the accident and losing game by game.
But Logan Barsh was on the sideline last Friday night. Right. Miller may be playing here, maybe. So who knows?
It's a game they can win, obviously. And it'd be
absolutely.
Nice to see them win it.
And then the only game Saturday night is 1-6 Youngstown Christian goes to 3-4 Steubenville Catholic Central. Steubenville Catholic Central right now is 10th in Division 7 Region 23, and they're looking to win out to go to 6-4, and then they're going to need some help. a little bit of help, but you never know. If you went out and finished 6-4,
No.
you at least done your part.
Yeah, and a couple years ago, this Youngstown Christian team was one of the better teams in the Youngstown area. They had 3 straight years of 9 wins. They've went to the playoffs, but they've been down the past 2 years for whatever reason. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, they thought this was going to be the next Ursuline or Mooney. They could attract the good players from the area, but yeah, they've just had tough times the past 2 years, and it's a very winnable game for Catholic Central, and a big confidence booster for them too, because they've been down this year. They've let that Bel Air game slip away. Probably wish they could have had some other wins, but this will be a good one for them to finish out the year on the highest note possible.
If you get this, you're 4-4, and you never know.
Yeah, 4-4 is a lot different than 3-5.
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
with only
If you're 3-5, you're done.
Yeah.
If if you're 4-4, you still have a shot at this.
There's a lot of big games this week.
There is, and it's playoff time. Regardless of what it is, it's playoff time for everyone somehow, some way. And if you're not in the playoff hunt, for the most part, you may be playing someone who is in the playoff hunt.
You can play spoiler a little bit.
Yeah, you can a little bit play spoiler and see what happens, and who knows?
How about that? Yeah. Playoff football, playoff baseball. It's fun.
It is fun. It is fun. There's no doubt about it. Oh, look at Mikey. We have 11 games this week. No one's playing each other.
No, busy.
Busy. Scratch every day. And so he would stop by, buy a bunch of tortillas, always corn, never always corn tortillas. And he would buy them every Friday afternoon on the way home from work. And then Saturday night, mom made tacos for dinner with homemade corn tortillas and all this stuff, right? So, and that's how I grew up. So I'm a huge, really like taco fan type person. And then when I get here, what do I see? A taco kit.
Uh-huh.
A taco kit. I've never seen what in God's creation the taco
kit. You got your ground beef. You got your
And of course they have the stand-up taco shells that are already there.
Already made.
I just went, what the heck is this? So your favorite Willy Wonka candy?
Nerds, yeah. The Nerds rope too. When they have
the Nerds rope,
the gummy rope thing with the Nerds on it. That's good. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought we were getting candy this week. Not Not candy from December 1998, but from some fresh candy.
I woke up from my nap too late because I had every intention to go to the dollar store and spend some money, but
the nap's better.
I needed a nap. As you can tell, I needed a nap a lot of times, but I really needed a nap.
I'd go for the nap over the candy, too.
Yeah, I thought so. Naps are precious. Naps are wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Naps at my age are needed.
I just sleep a lot. I don't have by the time I wake up, there's no time for naps.
By the time you wake up, it's 2 PM and it's time to get going.
Yeah, what time is it? Yeah, I'd wake up early to come in here for this today.
Like you're in college all over again.
Uh-huh.